Did you know from 2024 to 2025 there had been over 300 honor killings in Iran? You have the morale police in Iran that goes around beating women. You have the morale police that goes around telling women how to dress. If they show their hair too much, they'll be going to prison. They'll be beaten up. They'll be publicly humiliated. If their skin was showing, they'll likely be doing the same thing to them. But here, now you have the ex-general Qasem Soleimani, a very bad guy. This is a guy who's killed over 600 American soldiers, military men we're talking about. This is a guy who was in charge of the Quds and who would train Shia militias and how to kill Americans. So President Trump said, you know what, I'm taking this motherfucker out. And that's what he did in 2020, took him out. And so recently ICE goes and finds out that his niece and grandniece are living in LA, and they're living this lavish lifestyle. And typically whenever I see this stuff online about people living a lavish lifestyle, it's, you know, I don't believe any of it, because the life that people portray on social media, it's not really real. That's not who they are. They're not eating at the Ritz every day. But in this instance, I absolutely believe it, because this is the blood money of the Iranian regime. So his niece and grandniece are driving around this $250,000 car, and they're dressed like they're at a club, or they're dressed like they're strippers. Mind you, very beautiful and attractive women. But that is the life they're living in America. But from over there, they chant death to America. But you know, my point is this. My point is that these people, including illegal immigrants and legal immigrants, because the ones that have not assimilated, they come here, they say, they work American jobs, they make American dollars, they go to American universities, they want the freedom of America, they want to send their kids to American universities and get American education. But when you say, well, what does it mean to be an American? Can you do your American responsibility? Can you be a patriot for your country? Well, no, in that case, America's evil, and America is vicious, and they're racist, and they're xenophobic, and they're bigoted people. Okay, well then, if we're bigoted and we're racist, then why are you here? Why don't you go back to Iran? Why don't you go back to Pakistan? Why don't you go back to Somalia? And I'm saying that because I've been in situations, as someone who comes from an immigrant family, I've seen this firsthand, where, you know, we'll be in a group of people, and, you know, they'll eventually, politics comes up, and all the men are talking amongst one another, and someone will eventually say, well, it's because America's ripping off Pakistan. And I think to myself, and I'm just thinking, I'm thinking internally, I'm like, you know what, how many of these people, if I were to ask these people, how many of them would know, out of the 2 senators of New York City, or excuse me, New York, how many of them can name a senator in the state that they live in? Okay, well, what city do you live in? Okay, you live in Knoxville. Okay, can you tell me who is the mayor of Knoxville? Can you tell me who your council person is? Likely not, is what I'm getting at here. And this is no different from even, you know, when another country, from, let's say, for example, when Mexico came over to LA in California in 1997 to have their soccer match, you had over 2 million illegal Mexicans come out, go into the soccer match, and if you had an American flag up, if you chanted USA, they would likely punch you, kick you, be violent towards you, throw beer at you, call you names, call you a fascist, call you a dictator. No different from how, if you right now in 2026 wear your USA hat and you go out, and you're going to be called the fascist, you're going to be called the Nazi, you're going to be called the dictator. So what I'm saying is that there is an issue, there is a problem with assimilating and acculturating and learning the language and knowing what what being an American is when you're in America by a lot of these other third world countries that we've just said, come on in, we have free borders, come on in. That is the problem now we are facing.